The following program contains scenes and language of a frank and explicit nature. Viewer discretion is advised. In 5, 4, 3, 2, live now.
Oh my God, I don't know what you're talking about. Hey everybody, you know what? Now that you're listening to my trashtalkingradio.com, the best in the business, say it so much.
Wrestling fans throughout radio land, listen to Trash Talking Radio at trashtalkingradio.com. On Tuesday from 7 to 10 o'clock, you hear guys like myself, the Ugandan Giant Tomorrow. That's my story.
Talking radio show from the whatever we had done is like using a screwdriver.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. This is Ivan calling up. I'm here to get you about talking trash. The trash, 7 to 10. Tonight, you got to listen in. It's the best of it. All the best is down. Hey, this is the animal. One after the world, brother. Take in the world. bell. Everybody. Hey, you're watching Trash Talking Radio. This is Hulk Hogan. What do you got to say about it? What am I going to say that I just bought Trash Talk Radio? You're out of the picture, dude. This is my show, and you better watch me. Just what you going to do when Hulk Hogan's brand new Trash Talk Radio runs wild on you? This is the Vital Idol, and you're listening to Trash Talking Radio every Tuesday from 7 to 10 on TrashTalkingRadio.com. Remember this. Vital Idol tells you it's got to be true. And when it's on the internet, it's got to be real. It's Trash Talking Radio every Tuesday from 7 to 10. I am Top of Pop, the King of Swing, the international rock star, way up. Above par, the host with the most, Mr. Tuesday Night, the fight. Idol, classic life trash, and thank you very much.
Okay. All right. Let's see if this thing is going to work or not. Okay, well, this is Trash Talking Radio Tuesday night, and something is weird here. May have to reboot the system because it appears we're not up all the time. So, hopefully, we can rectify this thing, but I think that I noticed that the server was the one, my router was down. Now I don't know if it's working or not. Okay, so tell me whether or not you hear me, and that's the way we'll work on it, because I don't know if it's breaking up now. I found part of the problem. I think, wow, it was working weirdly, so. All right, I guess I got to put us on screen. Might as well scare them away all the way, huh?
Completely.
There we go.
There we go.
All right. Okay, so I think the problem is my network device that was to the computer. Okay, so the way it works is I have a notebook here, and I run the notebook off of a network hardwired, and the piece that was going into the hardwire was in, but the hardwire was shut off for some reason. and I rebooted it. When I noticed it wasn't on, I rebooted it, so that's why it wasn't connecting right, because whatever's going on. So hopefully from here on out it'll catch up, because now it ran off the wireless for a certain amount of time, but there was so much data going through. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to lower the resolution just a little bit, and that'll give us more headroom. But I think the problem is that my network was down partially. Only the wireless was working, apparently, so the wired was not working. So I don't know. Hopefully that'll be the end of that. But I think that was the issue, because I noticed that my lights were not working up on there, and I thought, well, that's kind of weird, because it's, wireless, but it shouldn't be running off the wires. Wireless should be running off the wired. I don't know. Anyway, by the looks of things, we're back up and running, and apparently it might be, well, we'll see if it's really working. That's the only thing I can say. It might work tonight. It might not work tonight. But if it don't work tonight, well, what can I do? Yeah, hey, Doug, they like your background.
They like my background.
Yeah, your background, your purplish background. They don't like my background.
I now have the ability to put the green screen up, so hopefully next week.
All right, then you can be like me, transparent. Although I've been transparent most of my life, I think. Anyway, all right, let's see if we can get this thing going. I'm afraid to start out with the RIPs, because I want to give it time to lock in. I think it's working though. I can't really. Oh, wait a minute. It's into the. That's interesting. Why just okay? Oh, I might be wrong about. Well, I might. I was definitely right about one of the things, but it seems that is hardwired into the. Okay, I don't know. I got to figure that out. Anyway, welcome to the show. We're gonna get things rolling here. I think I'll do this in the opposite order. Instead of doing the RIPs first, I'm going to do the birthdays first. And that'll give it time to work out anything, hopefully, with a handshake between the router and the wireless. So we'll start with that. We'll do it backwards. I'll give it time to catch up. So, all right, here we go. You're probably not going to know who the first guy is, but Christopher Nolan is a big director. He's done things like he did Batman, he did Dark Knight, Interstellar, Inception, Telnet, Dunkirk, Dark Knight Rises, and then one of my favorite movies of all time is Memento. That's Christopher Nolan. I'm not going to even ask you that for his age, because you probably don't know who he is, right?
Well, I know Inception, and you also said another movie, Interstellar.
Oh yeah, Interstellar was pretty big back in the day. So that he's 55. He's one of my favorite directors. He writes some pretty weird stuff, but I like this. I like the stuff that he puts out there. So I know you know the next guy. You gotta know the next guy. If you aren't, you're not American.
Arnold.
Yes.
83.
Actually, he's not that high. You're within 5. He's 78. Boy, that guy, I still am amazed. Even at his age, he still looks so good. And I would have thought that he would have suffered from steroids or something, but I guess maybe he didn't.
I don't know. He's a steroid baby, that's for sure.
Yeah, that usually limits your life. The next one, I don't know if you're going to know or not. She's pretty big, but I don't know. I mean, I haven't seen her in anything lately, so a lot of times people forget who these people are. But Hilary Swank.
Don't know
She had some really good movies. She was in what was that? The one movie with Clint Eastwood was the director, and I'm trying to think. It was a prize fighter. I can't remember her name, but she's been in a lot of pretty good movies. She's 55. The next one I know you're going to know, Lisa Kudrow.
Name doesn't ring a bell.
Friends.
Oh, okay, yes. 49.
62.
Oh my goodness.
Remember, they went off the air. What? They probably were off the air in. Ooh, The $1 Billion Babies. Yes. Thank you, Anne. $1 Billion Babies was the one I was trying to think of that Clint Eastwood directed with Hilary Swank. Lisa Kudrow was, I mean, you figure those guys, geez, they I'm trying to think when did they end? Trying to find. Yeah, that's 80s. They were in the 80s. So.
Well, since I didn't watch Friends, I had no idea.
The next guy you may or may not know, you might know him because he was in football. Terry Crews. He's also the announcer of America's Got Talent, and is also he was in 991, which was a comedy. He's been in a lot of comedies. He's a pretty big guy too.
No idea.
Okay, he's 57. Gina Rodriguez. You might know her if you watched any of the Fast and Furious.
Nope.
Well, I love her.
She's a pretty girl.
She's a very pretty girl, and she's not just a pretty girl. She's a tough pretty girl. Every role I've seen her in, she's been a badass, and I love her for that. She's the kind of girlfriend you want that will be protecting you, but she would probably also break your nose. So I guess that's not necessarily good. I thought this one guy you would know, Buddy Guy, but when I brought it up, I didn't recognize him. He's a musician, but he's not who I was thinking he was.
Buddy Guy?
Yeah, that's Buddy Guy.
That's so familiar, but I can't place it.
I thought I knew who he was too, and he's a blues guy, I guess. He's
a blues. Well, okay, I know him. He's a blues guitar.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, I do know. He is.
Go high.
Gotta be 80.
Go higher. Go higher.
Really? 90?
Yeah, 89.
89.
Yeah. So you've heard of him?
Yes.
For some reason, I think I heard of him too, and I don't think he's who I was thinking he was. I know who I was thinking of. Whenever I think of the word Buddy, the name Buddy, I think of Buddy Rich. That's why I was confused. I was like, wait, isn't he white? Guess not. Anyway, the next one is, I don't know if you know her or not, Vivica A. Fox. She's a black actress that's been in a lot of black movies.
No.
She is 61. Here's a name you probably haven't heard of in a long, long time, and you probably don't even know why you heard of this name if you heard of him. Tom Green.
No.
Tom Green was dating, what's her name? Drew Barrymore for a long time. And he had a talk show, and it was really a bad talk show. He's a really bad comedian. He's 54. The next guy I know you know, and if I'm wrong, I'd be really surprised. Lawrence Fishburne.
Oh, yeah. He's 78.
He's 64.
Wow.
You're thinking of the other guy, the other black guy. I can't think. he came up with that line, by the way. I didn't come up with that line. Lawrence Fishburne. What's the other guy's name is the guy in Marvel was the other guy. I can't think of his name. But those two guys, he always gets mistaken for the other guy, and I can't think of the other guy's name now. Anyway, I know you know the next guy, Wesley Snipes.
Yeah, Wesley. 56.
63. I know you know this guy. This is Jason Momoa.
You know, I don't know him.
You don't? Really? Aquaman.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
And actually, this guy here doesn't look like him at all. Whoop, this guy here, I guess that's him at a young age before he grew all the hair and put on all the tattoos. Tempest Bledsoe, and you're going to say, I don't know who that is, right?
The name is not familiar.
She was the girl on The Cosby Show, the youngest girl.
Really?
Yes, and she turned out to be beautiful.
Yes, she is. 63.
Off by 11. 52. Remember, she was just a little girl, really.
Yeah.
I don't know if you know this guy. This one's a tough one. Barack Obama.
Yeah, Barack. Barack is 65.
Close, 64. Billy Bob Thornton.
He is 57.
Up.
He's 69.
70, yes. And your favorite. Your absolute favorite that you're hoping to score points off of. Meghan Markle. Isn't she one of your picks? She's one of your picks.
Yeah, she's one of my faves. I'm going to say she's 47.
47. You're really close. 44. So that is our today's birthday. Well, not today's birthdays. Birthdays in the past week.
Harry was my favorite royal until he did what he did.
What did he do?
He left.
Yeah, what's wrong with that?
Well, he left under hard terms.
Yeah, but
I like my royals to be nice.
But the thing is, he wanted to get away from the craziness that family has. I don't know. I don't blame him, but he walked away from a lot of stuff to do this.
He walked away from a lot.
Yeah. So I admire someone that actually has the guts to do that. I don't know.
For a royal, he was actually an attack helicopter pilot.
Really?
He actually served in the war and actually flew combat missions. Most royals don't get anywhere near combat.
Wait a minute, I may have known that. I think I did know that. Huh.
That's why I liked him so much, because he really flew combat.
Yeah. Okay. So, last week I played the Hulk Hogan thing, and it was really horrible because the sound was off. I fixed that and put it back, uploaded again. And so I just want people to know if they wanted to hear it, it could be played again on YouTube, and you don't have to listen to the loudness of the music. I don't know what happened there, that it just got screwed up. Lonnie Anderson is our celebrity of the week. Yes. Wow, I remember watching her on KRP, and that was really, she was one of my favorite. I liked her, and I liked Bailey. I like Bailey a lot. I like Bailey because she was more of an intellectual woman than Bimbo. I like Lonnie because she was like that too. She kind of broke the stereotype because in the time that was out, most of the women had bimbo parts. That's all they were ever cast for. And I like the fact that they
Goldie Hawn part.
yes, and they broke the mold when it came to that type of thing. And I kind of really appreciate that they opened the door for women to sound intelligent. So I really like that a lot. All right, now let me go to, now what's this? Now, there we go. That's our picture of the day. That's my partner Tony's daughter, and it shows what you can do when you come to, if you like, we're going to rent the school out for birthday parties, and we're going to give kids a chance to be the star. They can be the wrestling star and come out and do the things that their favorite wrestling star does, or make up one of their own, and we'll let them hold a belt and we'll get a picture of it and a video of it for them, and they can show all their friends. Kind of a neat little thing that not everybody does. So that's really awesome. So, by the way, does the sound better this week? That's my big question to you people watching at home. I made some tweaks and some changes, and I hope that it sounds better for you. All right. I'm going to play the Lonnie Anderson thing in hopes that it plays correctly. So let's see what happens. Oh, that's not it. Let's gotta go to, should automatically do this. I hope. Now I'm curious as to whether it does it or not. It's supposed to automatically do it in the next video. Oh, we did. All right. Nope, that's not it. It didn't do it. Nope, that's not what I wanted. We already saw that. Okay, looks like it's going to screw up anyway. Right. Let's see if it's going to play the way it's supposed to. There it is. There's Lonnie.
In this heartfelt tribute, Trash Talking radio show honors the life and legacy of actress Lonnie Anderson, who passed away in 2025 at the age of 79.
And now she would have been 80 today.
Born August 5, 1945. Died August 3rd.
Okay. Uh-oh.
2025. Lonnie Anderson was more than a bombshell. She was a talented, trailblazing actress who balanced comedic timing with on-screen charisma and became a pop culture icon of the 1970s and 1980s. From her unforgettable role as receptionist Jennifer Marlowe on WKRP in Cincinnati to her appearances in film and TV for over 5 decades, Anderson left her mark on Hollywood in glamour, grace, and wit. Career highlights. Rose to fame as Jennifer Marlowe in WKRP in Cincinnati, 1978 to 1982, earning 2 Emmy nominations and 3 Golden Globe nominations.
Right.
Films include Stroker Ace, 1983.
Hold on. See if we get this to work right now.
Radio show honors the life and legacy of actress Lonnie Anderson, who passed away in 2025 at the age of 79.
79. She was
Born August 5, 1945. Died August 3, 2025. Lonnie Anderson was more than a bombshell. She was a talented, trailblazing actress who balanced comedic timing with on-screen charisma and became a pop culture icon of the 1970s and 1980s. From her unforgettable role as receptionist Jennifer Marlowe on WKRP in Cincinnati to her appearances in film and TV for over 5 decades. Anderson left her mark on Hollywood in glamour, grace, and grit. Career highlights. Rose to fame as Jennifer Marlowe in WKRP in Cincinnati, 1978 to 1982, earning 2 Emmy nominations and 3 Golden Globe nominations. Films include Stroke, Poker Ace, 1983, with then-husband Burt Reynolds, All Dogs Go to Heaven, Voice of Flo, A Night at the Roxbury, 1998, The Lonely Guy, 1984.
Okay, this is annoying.
Other TV appearances, The Love Boat, Fantasy Island, Nurses, Melrose Place, Sabrina the Teenage Witch, Three's Company, played Jane Mansfield in the Jane Mansfield Story, 1980, showing her dramatic range. Personal life, married Burt Reynolds in
Oh, come on.
1988, making them one of the most high-profile Hollywood couples of their time. Later married musician Bob Flick of the Brothers Four in 2008. Mother to actress Deidre Hoffman, advocated for COPD awareness and children's health causes in later years. Fun fact, was once told she was too beautiful to be funny, but she
Oh, come on, it's a
proved
2-minute
them all
video.
wrong with her sharp comedic chops. Had a chemistry degree from the University of Minnesota, modeled in the 1960s before transitioning into acting. Starred opposite Arnold Schwarzenegger in a 1973 educational fitness film. Whether you knew her as Jennifer, the glamorous partner of Burt Reynolds, or the bold woman who never let Hollywood typecast her, Lonnie Anderson was always unforgettable. Rest in peace to a legend whose beauty, wit, and strength left a lasting impact on generations of fans.
Well, that was fun. Anyway, I gotta figure that out. I think I'm gonna have to make those videos a little bit less resolution because it seems, well, the trailer video isn't that big though. I don't know what's going on that we're having problems with this, because I went years without any problems, and now all of a sudden, supposedly I have higher throughput, but you can't prove it to me, because I'll tell you what, since they have announced I've got higher output and stuff, we've had more problems. So I think they want me to get a new router, and that's ridiculous. I don't want to spend money on a new router if I don't have to. Anyway, all right. So there we go.
That was a good tribute, Mike, even with the issues.
Yeah, but I mean, as beautiful as she is, I don't want her to look down from above and say, you could have done better. Anyway, that's a good AI picture, huh?
Is that AI?
Yeah, that's all AI.
Beautiful woman. How would you have liked to go into high school with her and then discovered what she did in her life?
I know that if I had gone to high school with her, I would have never talked to her because she was just too
Too beautiful.
So that's It's kind of weird, but yeah, she was a gorgeous woman. Even in her later years, she was a gorgeous woman. I mean,
Yeah.
age didn't do.
She ate. Well,
Yeah. All right. So Stevie Nicks canceled her tour dates. She's 77. She's out there touring at 77 due to a medical emergency. They didn't really say what the medical emergency was, but I don't think they did for some reason. Let's see. I want to double check that I'm right here. First, it says she'd be canceling it due to a recent injury resulting in a fractured shoulder. I'll tell you what, my shoulders are messed up, and I know what it's like to hurt on the shoulders all the time. So, yeah. Oh, really? Ann says that we're sounding crystal clear, and we're all good.
good.
So these microphones are making a difference. So I'm glad. All right. Anyway, so she's not going. She doesn't know when she'll be back, but decided. Oh, wait a minute. We'll resume her concert schedule on Wednesday, August 1st or October 1st in Portland. So that's a couple months. Then we got. Let's see here. This is not a celebrity thing, but I thought it was kind of a cool article. So somebody was left a Kennedy coin as a tip at a local diner. What do you think that's worth?
I don't know. $1,000.
It is worth. I think that's about right. I think you might be right on that. Let's see here. Alongside a crumpled receipt and a few dollar bills and a shiny dollar, half dollar with John F. Kennedy on it. And that, what makes it so valuable, it could exceed $5,000.
Wow.
Now that's a tip.
That is a tip.
That's pretty nice. So I thought that's pretty neat. I mean, I thought I tipped pretty well, but I don't tip $5,000 well. That was kind of a neat little thing. All right, and then we got Hogan's death. The cause of his death was revealed. I think we already knew this, though.
It was surmised. It wasn't.
Well, it says here it was a myocardial infraction, otherwise known as a heart attack. Documents also noted Hulk had a history of leukemia CLL. I don't know what that is. A type of cancer, which he'd been fighting over the past, I think, 10 years. He also had like 15 surgeries in the last 10 years or something like that. I heard an interview today from his daughter. That's the first time she's spoken since, she was on the outs with him, and partially, I guess, because of her marrying who she married. But and plus, I guess she heard some other things that were not so cool that he had said about her, which is really a shame. And he apparently caused her to lose her. Oh, what she was saying on this interview was that she didn't lose her recording contract. He told her she did, so he could stop paying the money to record her, I guess. And he spent the money on Paul White trying to become a boxer. Now, Paul White's a big guy. He's 7 foot, and a 7 foot, and a guy that with a big fist like that could probably hurt you pretty bad. I don't know. I don't remember him ever becoming a boxer, but My understanding was he was trying to be a boxer. So it's really a shame. Because if he was lying to his daughter, that would, I mean, like I said, he had issues. They had issues that they weren't speaking when he died. So that would be a problem. So did you ever see the Hollywood sign?
Yeah.
I mean, who hasn't, right? Well, it was in bad shape for a long time. And do you know who is the guy who fixed it up?
No.
Might surprise you. The guy who fixed it up was Alice Cooper.
Really?
Yeah. I saw that and I said, really? He fixed it up? Well, for more than 100 years, the sign is, oh, come on, these little pop-ups. The sign in Los Angeles has been a landmark both in real life and in silver screen. In 1978, Alice Cooper told the BBC why he was helping to restore the dilapidated icon. Perched on the, did you ever go out and see it? Did you ever see it?
I've never been out there.
Oh, it's pretty cool. And it definitely overlooks the city. So, yeah, I thought it was pretty neat. Because that was one of the things I wanted to see when I was out there was the sign. But anyway, it's like it says it's like our London Bridge or Big Ben. U.S. rocker Alice Cooper said on the BBC music show, the old gray whistle test in 1978 in Hollywood. We don't have a landmark except for the Hollywood sign. The exact date of the monument went up is contested, but its official centenary. It was celebrated July 13th, 2023, making it 102 years old. It's now synonymous with the film industry, but it wasn't originally intended to be. In fact, it wasn't meant to be there longer than 18 months. The sign was designed as a short-lived billboard advertising a new housing development in Hollywood Hills. It consisted of 13 capital letters, and each 30 feet tall, or 30 feet wide, and 46 feet 46 feet tall. It spelled Hollywood Land, the name of the real estate group that was selling the properties. Made of wood, sheet metal, and held up by framework of telephone poles, the structure cost more than $23,000, about $430,000 today, to build. I can't even imagine a sign like that costing $430,000 to build. I would have thought it would be $23,000 today too. Anyway, he was talking about this in an interview. It says to ensure it especially is eye-catching, it was illuminated with almost 4,000 lights that would flash different sections of the sign: holly, wood, and land consecutively. The handyman was hired to keep the sign in good order and replace the bulbs as they burnt out. The idea was to promote an aspirational lifestyle choice to LA citizens, rather than to act as some endorsement of the industry. It's funny because I didn't know that. I didn't realize that it was meant for that. I thought it was just to show you're in Hollywood. I didn't know it was to sell houses. Pretty interesting. All right. So HBO is back. So they didn't survive the Max era in the beginning, because Max totally eliminated the HBO part. And it seems that they brought it back because nobody cares about Cinemax. Nobody cares about Max. They care about HBO. At least that's my view on it. HBO was the ones that made the really good films. Can you turn? Hey, can we turn your mic down a little bit? People are saying that we're hearing a lot of background. I hate to do that to you, but really.
Did you shut on?
Hey,
Say,
hi there. How you doing?
go ahead, say hi.
Hi.
This is Lakin on our radio show.
They're very loud tonight. They're leaving right now.
Oh, I didn't mean for you to leave. Don't leave because of me.
No, that's okay. They're leaving.
Hi there. Who's she?
This is Eddie.
Wait a minute. The last time I saw her, wasn't she like this big?
Yes. Yeah, this is Eddie.
How you doing, Abby? Hi.
So, can you say hi? Yeah. Okay.
She's
All
so
right, you
cute.
go with Grandma.
She's
Okay?
so cute.
You go with Grandma. Okay. Sorry about that.
That's okay. It's just that it was hard to concentrate on this. Anyway, HBO was the one I thought that did all the work. HBO we were known from Game of Thrones, or Sopranos, Succession, and it's won over 200 Emmy Awards. So I think that Max must have realized that they wouldn't be in business if it weren't for HBO. And so I think it was cool that they put them back in line. And I guess they consider them prestige television instead of just premium television. So I just think it's neat that they actually brought them back. Cause I don't know. I just thought that it was when Max took their name away. I thought that's kind of weird. The company.
Well, I don't know who Max is, but I do know who HBO
Right.
is. So when they changed their name, I thought, what's going on? Because HBO is an icon.
Right. Yeah, I didn't know why they would throw away Cinemax. I mean, Cinemax would throw away HBO and then become Max. Nobody cares about Max. I wanted HBO, and that's the only premium service I was interested in. And I thought, okay, well, now we're going to get Max and HBO, and I thought that's okay. And then when they took away HBO, it's like, why'd you do that? You should have taken away. If you're gonna, you take the one that has the best name value, and I think HBO has the best name value. But I guess now that they're back, I have nothing to complain about. So,
Well, is it HBO Max or just HBO?
it's HBO Max now. I'm pretty sure it's HBO Max now, but who knows? At some point, it may be just HBO again, because So that's a good thing. Mark Ruffalo, who played the Hulk, is back as the Hulk. He's going to be playing. There's a new Spider-Man 4 coming out, and he's going to be in that. So he gets to be Hulk in that. I don't know if you saw any of the Marvel things that had Hulk in it, but he looked pretty good. I like the CGI on that. He really looked pretty good. They kept his face and everything, but was able to make him look huge and stuff. So that'll be really cool if they do that. Also, did you see The Quiet Place? The movie The Quiet Place?
I know about it, but I didn't see it.
Well, they had a part 2, and I understand they're going to be making a part 3. Part 1, they killed off the father. Part 2 was without the father. I don't know what they're going to do with part 3. I like the Quiet Place movies. Do you know what it's about?
No, not really.
It's
No,
aliens.
you enlighten me. I think I know, but I could be wrong.
Well, it's aliens, but they can't see. They can only hear. So you have to be careful because you can't make noise. And the intro, uh, the family was running away from them, and then they stopped and stood still while the aliens walked around them, and they didn't say anything. And then the youngest child panicked and made a noise, and they took the youngest child away. That was kind of cool because you never see kids get killed; you only see the adults get killed. And so I thought that established pretty well that you can't say anything when they're around. So it was pretty. I liked one. One was the best. Two was okay. I'm not sure what they're going to do with three. But Krasinski is John Krasinski is the guy that wrote that, and he was in The Office. Did you see The Office? Did you ever watch The Office? You there?
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay.
Sorry.
Did you ever watch The Office?
Yeah, I watched you.
Okay, John Krasinski was the young guy that was the pretty good-looking guy that he actually turned out to be a pretty good actor. When he left that show, he ended up doing some pretty cool stuff. He actually played Reacher out of the book series, and was a secret agent. That was a pretty cool thing. And he did some other things too, but that's his big claim to fame was The Quiet One, when he wrote and directed those. He was the father in the first one. All right, next one. So Star Wars. You Star Wars fan?
I'm a Star Trek fan.
Okay. Well, Star Wars Episode 4, New Hope, that came out a couple years ago. It came, I forget when it came out, but anyway, they're coming out with a trilogy of that. The next one's going to be out in 2027. So, I'm trying to see. It says the originally hit the theaters in March 25th, 1977. Starred Hamill as the Luke Skywalker, Harrison Ford as Han Solo, and Carrie Fisher was in it. I don't really know how they're gonna do this because Carrie Fisher's gone. I guess did she die in the one? I know she died in real life. I think she died in one of the movies too. But anyway, so it's going to be interesting to see what they do with that because this is from 1977 till now. That's a what did I say, 77. So yeah, it'll be interesting to see how they do that. And I'm wondering, like, they won't have James Earl Jones' voice anymore. Well, then again, they could do AI on the voice, I guess.
Yeah, they could do AI.
Because you really need that voice. You need that deep, dark voice. Trying to see if it says here. Sequels began with 2015 Star Wars Awakens. They had a whole new cast with that. That's where Adam Driver was in that. He was what was it? He was Darth Vader's son in that. And that really, he had been a nobody up until then. I mean, he actually was in HBO's Girls. He played a kind of a goofy guy in that, and then he turned into the Darth Vader's son. It was kind of interesting when you see his career as it was. It came up as an evil, type guy. Let's see here. Last year at Cannes, Lucas talked about his original idea for Star Wars. It's kind of got lost after the 2012 Disney deal. Star Wars was interesting because Lucas sold his shares of Star Wars. And do you realize how much he sold that for to Disney?
No idea.
Take a guess.
200 million.
$2.5 billion.
$1 billion. Okay.
I was like, whoa, you're talking about some major money there. You're talking life-changing money there. And
His kids are taken care of.
yeah, he's gonna, after tax, I mean, he probably only got like what, 2 billion. But he might have sold it for 3 billion. I think it was 2.5 though. But yeah,
Do you think he can afford HBO Max?
I don't know. I know he probably can't afford my car. Actually, he could afford how many of my cars? A lot of my cars. So that's kind of cool though. But anyway, it's funny because he probably was thinking, man, I probably shouldn't sell it. I shouldn't sell it. I shouldn't sell it. And then he thought, $2.5 billion. I could probably live on that. And then took the money, and now he knows with all these spin-offs and all these Star Wars other movies, he's probably thinking, maybe I should have kept it a little bit longer. But,
Yeah, 2 billion doesn't go as far as it used to.
Yeah. Yeah, I know. I'm working on 2 billion now. I mean, it's hard to, I'm scraping and scraping. You like Oasis?
Don't know what Oasis is.
They're a band. They're a band of brothers that fight all the time. An Oasis fan dies after falling during a concert at Wembley Stadium. That's got to be really difficult to deal with. You have a concert hoping that you can make people happy with the concert, and some guy falls off the stadium. I don't know how he fell off the stadium, but I would imagine it was probably alcohol or drugs or both involved. It's hard to say. So it's a shame. And they went ahead with the concert as planned. I don't know what I would do if I had a situation like that.
Show must go on. But...
Yeah. Well, I mean, WrestleMania, they had that, in, I guess it was 97 when Owen Hart died. They were like, they never had a situation like that happen. And they had to decide, should we end the show now or should we continue? And they continued the show, and they got so much flack for that. So I don't know. Speaking of which, did you watch SummerSlam?
I did not, but Lakin did. He loved it.
It was, I'll tell you, a lot of things happened that was really cool about that. I have some stuff here on it. I'm trying to see where I put it. Hold on. Let me see where I put it. It had to be. There it is. That's it. Do you remember a year ago, Seth Rollins almost held the belt for more than 15 seconds? And Punk made sure that he did not get the belt. Well, this time, Punk won the belt, and he held this belt for like 15 seconds because Rollins cashed in his Money in the Bank contract after the match. And he beat Punk in 15 seconds. So I kind of thought that was interesting. And there were a lot of people that were upset by that, but it's just the end of the story. The end of the story is that
what turns around comes around.
That's right. And he kept harassing Punk for months and months, and every time he would go and be close to getting a belt, he would be interfere. And you know what? Sometimes you got to be careful. He might come back and bite you. And that one came back and bit him. So that was interesting. So I liked the ending of that. Becky Lynch won a belt, so she is back in the belt game. So now Seth and Becky both have belts, and they're the couple that wins belts together has a good life, I think. They're married.
Yeah.
Right? They have 2 kids. So that was kind of cool. There were a lot of things that I thought. Oh, the big surprise of the SummerSlam was the Cena Cody match was really good, and they both were faces. Cena turned face on Friday, so that was interesting. And so they had a really good match. It was probably the best match of the weekend. And at the end, they hugged and everything, and then Cody left the ring, and everybody was cheering for Cena and everything. And the last thing that I expected to happen happened. You know what it was?
No.
A totally unexpected visitor showed up. And that person was Brock Lesnar. Now, I found that interesting because Brock Lesnar is involved in that lawsuit with McMahon against Janelle, whatever her name is. I guess apparently his lawyers say there's no problem with having him back because he didn't do anything. Apparently, I don't know, but it's controversial. But he showed up that night. He just went in the ring, left his mark, and left the ring. So we're going to see a nice feud between them. I always liked Lesnar. He's this guy's a real athlete. Him and I love the feud between him and Curt Hennig. Those guys tore the house down, and it was good to see them guys. It was good to see Brock. I like to see Brock. I would heat with this because people say, "Oh, Brock shouldn't be back because it's still controversial." Well, he needs to make a living, Well, he probably doesn't need to make a living. He probably has enough money but he wants to go out like Cena did. He wants to go out with his last year and make his last year memorable. I understand he wants to retire too because he's got to be close to 50, and he's still as big as ever. So we'll see. We'll see what happens, how they do that. Okay, I got this. Oh, I did open that. Okay, there it is. Yeah, Seth Rollins walked out, and it was funny because Punk had gotten, who did he beat? Oh, he beat the General. He beat Gunther. He beat Gunther, and it was a hard-fought match. Those guys beat the living daylights out of each other. And Punk could barely stand. And then Rollins came out with his knee brace on and crutches and everything. And he was, I think, pretty sure that Heyman had his briefcase. And Rollins threw down the crutches, took off the knee brace, and ran down to the ring, gave the case to the referee. They started the match, and he pinned him right away. It was really quick. So I thought it was interesting. That was fun. Yeah, that was a good match. Let's see here. Sheamus and Rusev were the first card of the match, I think. They had some good matches. They really did. They really did do some good stuff. I'd say take a watch on it on Peacock. You'll see some good stuff. Charlotte and Alexa Bliss won the women's belts. Let's see. Karrion Kross lost to Sami Zayn. Rhea Ripley. Was that a three-way? That was a three-way. Io Sky. Yeah, I think Io Sky won that belt, or kept that belt. AJ Styles lost to Mysterio. Basically, that's the gist of the. I think it was just Saturday for that stuff. But
So, who decides ahead of time
who decides what?
who's going to win the bout?
The booker. The booker when he
What?
says when the booker says I want these matches, the booker says I want these matches. I want this guy to go over, and and then they have what they call road agents. The road agents sit down and talk about the match with the wrestlers and work the match out so that they know what's going to happen. So that's kind of how it
So
works.
don't some wrestlers get mad at that?
It's all business. There are
Just
people.
business.
There are people that have problems with it because there are certain people that, like Seth Rollins, I believe, is one of them, that want to hold belts and want to be in the top of the tier. So, yeah, there are people that have problems with it. But there are also people that have what they call stroke. The ones that have the stroke are usually the guys who are at the top, like Brock Lesnar is a guy that has a stroke. They usually pay him pretty darn good money. And so you got to utilize a guy like him in the best way because he doesn't wrestle every night. He wrestles whenever he wants because he's such a powerhouse. But also, someone like him, you don't want to overuse him because then he becomes just another guy. So if you're special, when you come in, you know there's a reason he's coming in. He's coming in to usually beat someone, or there's certain guys. Roman Reigns is another one. He's got stroke. He can say no, I won't. I don't. I don't want that to
How
happen.
about Gunther?
Gunther, no, he's just a guy. I mean, he's a good wrestler. That's why he gets away with some of this stuff. But he's really not. I don't think he has any. I don't think he has a major amount of stroke. There are some
How
guys.
about Cody Rhodes?
Cody Rhodes, definitely. Last time he was in WWE, they treated him like dirt. But his father was a major player for all of his life. So they just felt that he needed to gain a lot more experience, and that's why he left the company and went on the road and started. I saw an interview with him where he talked about he was wrestling for mom and pop places. He was wrestling for smaller organizations just to get out there and get road work. And he did the right thing. WWE couldn't believe he was asking for his release. And he was asking for his release because he had to do Stardust and he had to do stupid things. And he didn't feel like he was going anywhere. So he felt that he had to do that stuff just to survive. So, he did the right thing. And then when he came back, he didn't know if he'd be coming back or not. He wanted to, but he didn't want to come back under the way that he left because they just weren't using him. They were using him like a jobber. And now he's proven himself, and he's proven he can carry the company. So that puts him in the elite. So there aren't that many people in that role. There's Roman Reigns, there's Seth Rollins, there's him. Those are the only guys that are, and people like Cena that they're retiring now. But Cena, the whole time he wrestled, I used to hate him in the early 2000s. I did not want to watch him on the screen because he just seemed like an entitled jerk. And he wasn't doing anything bad. He was doing everything right. I just didn't like him. I didn't like the gimmick. I didn't like I just didn't like it. As he matured, after he left, I mean, he also fucked it. Him and The Rock had real heat, and he matured and they got over their issues and became friends. But for a while, they did not like each other. So, I kind of respect him now. I like his HBO. Speaking of HBO, his showed Peacemaker is on HBO, and the new series, the new um, season of Peacemaker is coming out this month. So we'll get to see him act again if you're in. I like him. I like him since he became an actor because I think he's a pretty good actor. So it's interesting to watch where he went, where he came from, and where he went. I mean, when I read his story, I understood him when I actually um, saw where he came from. He came from New England, which we knew. He went to California, which I knew. He went out to California to be a wrestler. He went out there originally to go to school, but then he caught the bug. He caught the wrestling bug, and he would do anything to be a wrestling guy. He just wanted to do independence. When he got hired for the WWE, he didn't know. He had no idea he would be. He thought he would just do that on the side. He never realized how big he would be because of that. So, I shouldn't have hated him, but I did. But he gained my respect by doing everything that he does and how he did it and all that. So, that's one thing that's really kind of cool when you think about it. He's come a long way, but he did actually pay his dues. So I give my kudos to him. And now, he's a pretty big star. So I'm happy about that. Happy to see that. But the answer is basically the road agents will help them put together a match. And they put together, the reason they have a road agent is so you don't have a guy that's just like someone that's, say you put Lesnar in against Seth Rollins, and Lesnar says, well, I'm going to do it my way. You're going to stop him? Lesnar's a big guy. You're not going to stop him. If Lesnar wants to do it some way, he's going to do it his way. Well, now, with the agents there, they're like the middleman, and they're saying, this is the way you probably should do the match, and they give ideas of things they should do and things they should avoid. Plus, if you have the road agents, you're going to have guys not all doing the same moves or the same endings and stuff like that. You have a guy that can be as a mediator between them. So,
yeah, the reason I ask is because sometimes you see them help set up a move.
Yes. Well, there were people. Oh, by the way, there were people that got hurt this weekend too. Jelly Roll was wrestling this weekend. He got hurt. He got his first injury this weekend, and he took some pretty serious stuff. He was actually being carried to the back because he was really injured. And as he got halfway back, he changed his mind. He wanted to get back in the match. He was legitimately injured, but they ended up losing their match. But I applaud him for having the guts to go back in there after he got injured. And there are times when I got injured one time. I was working 3 matches in West Virginia, and I got injured my first match. I actually broke my wrist. And I didn't know how bad my wrist was. I just know it was swelling up. And I had 2 more matches to do. And I did all 3 matches. And then I drove home, about an hour and a half or so, went to the ER. There was an 8-hour wait in the ER in the middle of the night. And I said, well, I'm just going to come back because I'm not going to sit in the waiting room for 8 hours. I'm going to go home, go to sleep, get up, and come back. And I did that. And then when I came back, they took me right in, and they said, oh, yeah, you broke your wrist. They put a cast on. So I was working the next, 6 weeks or whatever it was that I had to cast. I was working with a cast. And it was funny because after the first 2 days or something, my swelling went down in my wrist so bad, so much that I woke up and the cast fell off my wrist. It was laying in the bed. And it just fell off because the swelling went down. I had to go back in and get another cast. And I used that first cast as a gimmick. And when I actually got the cast off for good, I was still wearing the cast. I put it back on. And I'd take it off, throw it to a guy, let him hit somebody over the head. They throw it back, and I put it back on. Oh, that was fun. That was some good days. And I used to do all kinds of stuff like that. And it was a great gimmick till one time we had a match, and I took it off, and I used it, and somebody took, one guy in the ring, took it and threw it into the audience. I'm like, you just threw my gimmick away. I can't replace that. It's, I'm not going to go break my wrist again so I can get another one. So I had to come up with another gimmick after he threw my cast away. Some people, they just had no respect. Oh, man. All right, what else we got? Lollapalooza was this past weekend, I believe. They had 115,000 people per day. How many arrests do you think they got?
Oh, I don't know, Mike. A lot. Probably, let's say 250.
250? Well, I'm pleased to tell you that you're incorrect. They had 12 arrests. I don't know why this is not coming up, but it should be coming up right now. So, come on. Hurry up. There it is. Only 12 arrests. That's not bad.
Only 12. They were keeping themselves in check, evidently.
Yeah, I'm really shocked that was only 12. So, I don't know. I kind of think that's neat. Where are we at here? Sean Diddy Combs. He's upset.
He is upset. Couldn't happen to a nicer guy.
It couldn't. I'm really bummed that he's getting out as quick as he is, whatever that is going to be. Because
they're making him do this. They're making him do this because they're going to give him time served, I think.
Probably, and that sucks. But sometimes you win, sometimes you lose, and he seems to be winning a lot, even though he lost one. But he could have lost a lot more than that. I think that he deserved to lose a lot more than that. But what can you do? Come on, give me my freaking page. ABC News. There it is. It says here, denied bail while awaiting sentencing. You know that once he gets out, there's going to be all kinds of problems.
Retribution.
Oh, yeah.
Go after people.
Yep.
I wouldn't want to be his girlfriend.
No, I can't imagine. And some girls are so stupid, they're going to go to him. They're going to think, oh, he wouldn't do that to me. Those people, those people deserve what they get. I mean, because they obviously know what he's capable of. And this guy's getting away with it, and there's nothing anybody can do about it. I can't believe that our courts let us down like this. But what do you do? All right. Says the funniest movie of the decade is here and does the impossible. I forget what this was about. I forget which movie that was. Pretty bad. I do these things and then I forget what I did. Come on. Oh, that was okay, I know what it is. It's the Liam Neeson movie. The Naked Gun. Yeah. It says, until this week, when I saw a version of Naked Gun, I'd have to say that it was impossible to duplicate. This movie made no help from the Zuckers offered, but it does it. It's apparently better than the other movies. I got to go and see that. I want to see that movie. I think it'll be interesting. It's kind of my stupid humor. Do you like those kind of stupid movies?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I want to see it. I'm going to wait till it comes out on one of the streaming channels.
Me too, probably, because I'm so busy that I probably couldn't do it any other way. I've got lots of things going on, and it's hard to get it all done. But I want to definitely check it out. Oh, here's one. Music legend 73 randomly joins band at Brooklyn bar to sing classic hit. Who do you think it is? 73, music legend. You're not going to guess.
No
it.
idea.
Yeah, I was going to say you're probably not going to guess because I wouldn't have guessed it either. But it's someone everybody should know. Here we go.
David Bowie?
David Bowie's been dead for what? 15 years?
Yeah, he's been dead a long time.
He's not coming back. He says that's it. I'm not doing any more. No, this guy. I wish this would come up quicker. Hold on. Gotta eliminate some of these. There we go. How about David Byrne of the Talking Heads? That would be cool to walk into a bar and just see David Byrne just playing. That would be awesome. I liked his stuff too. Talking Heads were a lot of fun. So I would love to walk into the thing and see him playing. But it was really, really cool. They say never meet your heroes. Why risk shattering your perception of idols by seeing their flaws and failing firsthand? The Talking Heads talked about going on tour for some time now, and I didn't realize David Byrne was 73. Oh, come on with this. It's ridiculous. Same as it ever was. That's what Ann said. Same as it ever was. Anyway, so it says here, the one member of the Brass Queens meeting David Byrne and performing with him was worth the risk. On August 2nd, Jenna Murdoch, who plays tenor sax in an all-female brass, posted a video of Talking Heads frontman on stage with a group from a prior night's performance at Come On Everyone. David Byrne came to my band's show at a gay bar in Bed-Stuy and sang This Must Be the Place with us. And I haven't processed it, she said. That'd be so cool to have a chance to do that. David Byrne, just to see, he's out there, and he's out there still making music. And in fact, he's talking about a tour with the Talking Heads again, and that would be really interesting to see. So, guess we'll have to see if he's going to do it or not. I don't want to take up all the time. I have more stories, and I know you have some stories. Do you want to do a couple?
I can, or you can keep going. It's up to you.
Well, the next ones I have. Oh, let me give you. Let me give you this last one. Then you can talk about a couple, and then I'll come back in when you exhaust your things, or we can. Yeah, this one lets me do
Well,
it.
we have Def Leppard and.
Yeah. Yep. And I'm ready for both of those too. You know what we could do? I could probably do the Chosen as small segments too, because we've been doing actually our small segments haven't been very small lately because I've had a lot to say. I'm getting better at this trying to interpret what's going on there. So I'm happy about that because I don't sound so stupid. Anyway, okay.
No, you've been doing excellently.
John Stamos, you know who he is, right?
Yeah.
Let's see if it's nope, that's not it. It didn't open. Why didn't you open? Hold on. Okay, let's try this again. Okay, so John Stamos is going to play. He's going to play. John Stamos is this guy here, and this is Josh Gad. I think it's Gad. Yeah, Josh Gad. So they're doing a Jesus Christ Superstar at the Hollywood Bowl. I'm assuming it says Josh Gad dropped out due to COVID. So John Stamos playing in the Hollywood Bowl is really interesting to me. He's going to meet Jesus face to face on stage at the Hollywood Bowl this weekend, replacing the ailing Josh Gad as King Herod. And Cynthia Urbino leads the production as the superstar that is Jesus Christ, with Adam Lambert as her foil, Judas. So I guess Jesus is a female in this version. So, yeah, it's kind of interesting. I mean, I don't know if I could drop in just to change on, even though I've seen Jesus Christ Superstar, you better be studying that movie real well, because there's a lot of singing in that movie, and there's a lot of things going on in that movie. So I don't know if he was the backup guy or if he just, said, "Oh, I'll do it." But I would like to see that. But that would be interesting to see him playing the King Herod. Okay, I'm going to give you the floor.
Okay. Well, Mike, at first, I'm going to challenge you to start making babies.
Why didn't you wait till I took a drink? That's not going to happen. Why would you want that?
Because in the United States, well, first of all, to keep the population in the world the same,
Okay.
without it going backwards, we need every female to produce 2.1 children.
I'd be willing to do the 0.1.
The U.S. rate is 1.6. 1.6. But it's still better than Canada, Europe, East Asia, South Korea. South Korea now is a 0.75 children per female.
Now, why would we want to? I mean, seriously, why would we want to have more people on this planet?
Because the world, we're going to cap out in 2080. We're going to tap out at about 10 billion people and then start going backwards. And
Okay.
that's a good thing.
Yeah.
But
Well,
to keep the United, here's the bottom line, and it's racist. But the bottom line is to keep the United States white, we need 2.1 children per female. Because Hispanics are producing kids all over the place.
okay. I don't have a problem with that. I personally think that we have too many people anyway. I think that there's a lot of kids that don't have homes or aren't treated well, or we got enough people. I don't think we need any more people.
Well, the reason the birth rate is dropping is because people are getting college degrees and putting off or not having kids at all. People are starting families later in life and therefore not having as many kids.
Yep.
Teen pregnancy rates are dropping, which is a good thing.
Yeah.
And there's an increase in infertility rates among men and women because of the plastics that are in our food supply and water. Semen is becoming infertile.
Wow.
To keep the to keep Social Security going,
Yeah.
and Medicaid and Medicare, we need more people. We need more workers.
Nah. After I'm gone, I don't care. I've made enough money that I don't have to rely on Social Security, and because we were always told as kids that there was not going to be any money when we were old enough to enjoy it. Fortunately, they were wrong, but I don't feel that. I'm pretty sure that that we have too many people as it is. What we need is to have less people abusing the system, and I don't think that we need any more people. No, I think we're running out of land. We're running out of resources. Last thing we need is, we're running out of gas. We're running out of water. We're running out of clean water. I think that we don't need any more people. So economists are wrong, or whoever came up with this.
Hey, what's the world's most populous city?
Oh, geez. The world's most popular city?
Popular. Most people.
I would say it's in China, right? Is it China?
Tokyo.
Tokyo. I was thinking Japan at first, and I thought, no, China's probably more. But yeah, I believe that.
You want to guess at how many people are living in Tokyo metropolitan area?
I don't even know what a good number would be, but I'm going to say 20 billion.
37.7 million people.
Oh, million.
In the metro area.
Oh,
million.
Okay. Well, I'm way wrong. Okay.
Who has the most populated zip code in the United States? I bet you've never heard of this zip code. It's Katy, Texas.
I was going to say I don't have a clue. I wouldn't have guessed Texas. I would have probably guessed a city. I would have thought New York would have New York, or yeah, I would have thought New York. So I would have been way off on that. Why would it? I'm really surprised that Texas would be it. Okay.
Yeah. There's a town in Nebraska, I can't pronounce it. It has a population of 1.
Oh, cool. That's my place.
He ran an election and lost.
What? How do you lose again?
I'm teasing. Hey, in Nepal, there's 2 million more women than men.
Okay.
So you have a chance, Mike, of getting just about any woman you want.
When are we moving? Oh no, if you go with me, then I won't. I'll have half the amount of chances.
What's the least populated state in the U.S.?
The least populated? I would say it would have to be. Wow. Let's say Utah.
It's Wyoming, but you have the right area.
Yeah, I couldn't think of another one off the top of my head. I didn't want to say Utah because there's some Mormons in there, and I would thought, well, they probably have a lot of people there because of Mormons.
They have 580,000 residents. That's it.
Wow, that's pretty good. It sounds like my place. Sounds like my kind of place.
Cheyenne is the state capital. It has 65,000 people living.
Wow, that's crazy. Who would have thought? Jeez.
When will we hit 10 billion people?
I don't know. Where are we at now?
About 8.7 right now.
I would say we'll hit. I'd say let's give it another 2 years.
30 years. 2050.
Really?
there was 7.8 billion people in 2020, and 30 years will hit. In 2050, we're at 10 billion
Wow.
at the current birth rate of the world.
Okay. I'm surprised. I actually thought it would go quicker. I guess maybe not, because I'm thinking that's a, I really would have thought that it would have been quicker. I would have thought, I was going to say 5, and I thought 5 years is too long, but apparently it's not. So I don't know.
Okay, on a more serious note, Russia, 250,000 Russians have been killed.
See, if
Over
they'd stopped that,
seven-
if they stopped the killing of all those Russians, we would have been there by now.
That's right. 700,000 have been wounded.
Wow.
Putin is an evil, evil man. He doesn't care how many Russians are killed.
Right.
Ukraine is about 100,000 killed and 300,000 wounded. There are 6.5 refugees that have left Ukraine. A lot of military-aged men have left Ukraine because they don't want to serve in the war.
Jeez. I'm not surprised. I mean, I would have figured out a way to get out of there too. That's a lot of people getting hurt and killed.
Russia has 10% of Ukraine. They occupy 10%, and they want to occupy 20%. They're not going to quit the war until they get around 20% of Ukraine.
Wow.
And that may not be enough. That may not be enough. President Trump has said that any country that does business with Russia will be taxed tariff at 100%. He's trying to force Putin to the negotiating table. But Putin doesn't care because China, India, and Iran buy all their oil at a discount rate and then sell it on the open market at the regular rate. And they're making billions of dollars.
Wow.
And they're not going to stop. India, especially. Hey, just to tell you the type of man Putin is, there are 45 former government members that died of suicide in the last 4.5 years.
I believe that.
What?
Why? I thought they were in trouble for money. I thought they had money.
They are. Their economy's on the brink of collapse. The only reason that they're making it is because so many people are buying their oil and gas reserves.
Wow.
It's keeping them afloat. But Putin is evil.
Well, how
There's
can
a
they
book
afford?
coming out by Bill O'Reilly, Confronting Evil. And he says in the world today, the most evil man in the world today is Putin. They've traced what he has done to people throughout the years. He specialized in torture as a KGB agent.
I'm really surprised that they've gotten this far. That that they don't want to compromise, or I'm surprised that no one has made any. If they're in such bad shape, what is their end game going to be?
Putin doesn't care. He only cares about the elite. The elite do not get drafted into the army. The elite have money to buy whatever they need. The rest of the country, he doesn't care what happens to them.
Wow.
As long as he can fund his war, and as long as he can recruit peasants into the army, he doesn't care.
I'm surprised that someone within Russia hasn't taken him out. Like
He doesn't go anywhere. He doesn't do anything. He can't visit 95% of the countries in the world because he'd be arrested as war crimes.
Yeah. Yeah, that makes sense. I don't know. I just wonder because, like, I would think that I don't understand why they don't work with everybody instead of try to destroy everybody. Because they're not in a position to really. I mean, people are afraid of them, so I guess they're in a better position than because of fear. But I would think that they could really help everyone and be part of free trade and all that stuff instead of trying to be a tyrant and destroy people. I don't know.
Putin wants to return to the Soviet Union all the land and the countries that he controlled. That's what he wants. Plus, when Europe invaded Russia, they came through Ukraine. So he wants to control Ukraine to stop any NATO advancement into Russia.
Okay.
The Ukraine is extremely strategic because it's only a couple hundred miles to Moscow.
Hmm.
So Ukraine is a strategic place for him. Plus, Ukraine used to be part of the Soviet Union, so he would like to have it back.
Wow. I would think that.
So let's move on to another war that is very nicely being taken care of: Israel-Hamas-Gaza war. You know they've been doing this war for 22 months now.
Wow.
And 20 hostages that they think are still alive have been held for 22 months.
Wow.
There was pictures of two of them the other day. They look like Nazi concentration camp victims.
Oh, wow.
They're not being fed. The only time hostages are released is during ceasefires, but Hamas walked out of the last ceasefire
Wow.
of negotiation.
That's crazy.
It's a mess. I've got all kinds of notes. I'm not going to read them all. It's just an absolute mess. There's no solution. Hamas needs to go. 22 Arab nations wrote a proclamation demanding that Hamas leave and give up control. And Hamas said, no, we're not doing it.
Jeez.
Israel controls 75% of the country. They don't control the other 25%. It's because they think that's where the hostages are. They haven't found the hostages yet, and they're scared to do anything. But Netanyahu, the president or the prime minister of Israel, wants to occupy Gaza now permanently and annex it to make it an Israeli territory. And that in the world is a no-go because Britain, France, and Canada have come out and called for a Palestinian state of the West Bank and Gaza.
Wow.
Which would be fine if it wasn't run by terrorists.
Right. Wow.
They can't get food in to feed the Gazans because it's being stolen by Hamas.
That's crazy.
So there's starvation going on in the Gaza territory. There's starvation going on. And that's why the world wants a ceasefire so we can get food in there to feed people. But we have two sides that are dug in. We have Israel that's dug in to Hamas must go, and you have Hamas dug in that we're not going anywhere. And Israel has to pull out of Gaza.
Sounds like a mess.
And so the hostages are starving. The people of Gaza are starving, and there's no solution.
It's weird because, I mean, here we are, 2025, and it's hard to imagine these wars going on with these countries that don't even have money to do these wars, and they're fighting over things that a lot of us don't even really understand. Um, I don't even know what to think about something like this. I just know that we're I'd say we were the peacekeepers, but we're not. But we're gonna have to get involved in this to get this stuff done because nobody seems to be going
Well,
anywhere.
Trump said he could end the war in 24 hours. We're talking now. He's been in for 6 months, and it's worse now than it was when he got into office. I'm not picking on Trump. I'm just stating the fact. He ran up against Putin, and Putin is not going to end the war until he gets his 20% of Ukraine. And they're fighting a World War I war on the ground. They're going trench warfare. Now, in the air, they're using drone warfare, and the United States is studying the drone warfare because the next war the United States gets in, it's going to be drone warfare.
Right. Yeah,
It's a mess, Mike. It's an absolute mess.
And it's bad enough that there would be one, but then we have two. And
two major wars.
And neither of them involve us for the most part.
Well, we are funding both wars by sending weapons.
Right. But, I mean, it's not really our fault. It's not really our war, as far as I'm concerned. We shouldn't have to be involved in it at all. But
what Trump is doing now is in the Russian-Ukraine war, he is selling weapons that we don't have enough of for ourselves. He's selling weapons to Europe, and Europe is giving the weapons to Ukraine.
Okay.
So we get money. Europe doesn't get any money, but we get money. But we cannot replace the weapons we're giving to Ukraine fast enough. And we've got an enemy called China that we have to have weapons for because they want to destroy us. So it's a mess, Mike. It's just a mess. I don't know if Obama could have fixed this. I don't know if Clinton could have fixed this. I don't know if Bush's could have fixed this. But it's a mess.
Kamala
it's just a mess. And
Kamala.
People are starving to death.
Kamala could have fixed it. She would have said
you can tell it upsets.
She would say, when I was a little girl.
Yes. She would not be able to fix it for sure.
No, I totally agree with that. She could not. I don't know who could have. I mean, I don't know who would have done it. I don't know who would do a better job than what he's doing because how do you fix it? I mean, I don't know what I would do. I mean, think about if you were president. What do you think how would you react to this? I don't even know. I wouldn't even know where to start.
Netanyahu is a captive of his right-wing government. And he wants now to occupy Gaza forever. That's a no-go in the world community. You've got to talk Netanyahu out of doing that and come to some type of ceasefire, even if it's temporary, to get the 20 hostages out.
Right.
That's what Trump has to do.
Wow.
And it's hard to move Netanyahu because he's captive to his right-wing government. And until Netanyahu moves position, nothing's going to happen.
I don't know.
I don't know, Mike.
I don't know. It's a mess, and
It's a mess.
I really hope that it would, at least one of those would end by now. The fact that they're still going on, that's a shame for everyone. No one wins in this thing. You know?
Nobody wins. Yeah. Hey, let's do a couple fun facts of history, and then I'll turn it back over to you. Okay?
All right.
Andrew Jackson's parents started cussing at his funeral and had to be taken out of the funeral. He had a parrot that cussed, and the parrot was at the funeral.
Oh, I thought you said his parents. I thought, well, why would his parents?
No, parrot.
That makes a little more sense. Okay, I got it now. Wow.
You remember let's see where that's at. Let me go to that. It's fine. Oh, okay. Okay, in France, right, and this is in the 1900s, early 1900s in France, waiters went on strike for a couple reasons. They were working 7 days a week. They only wanted to work 6. They weren't getting paid a lot of money, but also they wanted to be able to wear mustaches.
Oh, okay. Well, I understand that.
Facial hair was in the early 1900s.
Well, you'd have a job.
I'd have a job, yes.
I wouldn't.
Lyndon Johnson. You remember Lyndon Johnson?
I remember. You know why I remember Lyndon? You know why I remember Lyndon Johnson?
Why?
You know what his birthday is?
Same as yours?
Yes.
Well, okay. He used to have cabinet meetings with his top advisors in the bathroom while he's taking a crap.
Sounds like I would have a lot in common with him.
And he'd take showers, and he'd make his advisors stand in front of him as he was drying off.
What in the world? Oh, that's funny.
On April 18th, 1930, the BBC, that's the national news in England, the
Yep.
BBC, you know who they are,
Yes, I do.
announced it was on Good Friday. They came on for their 15-minute world broadcast and said there is no news today.
What?
And there was 15 minutes of silence.
They weren't trying real hard.
They weren't trying real hard, that's right.
Oh.
Just a couple more, Mike, and I'll throw it
No,
back
go
over.
ahead. Go ahead, man. I'm enjoying this.
Do you know the songwriters of Take Me Out to the Ball Game? Baseball songs that they sing? They sing at the stadium? Take me out to the ball game. You know that song?
Yes, I do.
The two writers had never seen a baseball game.
Oh, that's good. Oh. And
Do you
they
know
probably.
why Hollywood is the motion picture capital of the world?
Why is that?
Because it used to be in New York City.
Yeah.
But Thomas Edison controlled it, totally controlled the movie industry.
Oh.
And so to get away from Thomas Edison's control, they went out west and found a place in Hollywood where they could build
Wow.
their sets.
That's interesting.
Thomas Edison totally controlled the movie industry.
Huh. I didn't know that. That's really interesting stuff. I didn't realize he had that much.
I found that very interesting.
I didn't know he had that much pool in that.
He had that much of power, yeah.
That's interesting because I thought
He would dictate, he had enough power, he would dictate what film was going to be made and what film wasn't going to be made.
This is the same guy that did the light bulb.
The same guy that did the light bulb.
I never knew any of that. I didn't even know he was involved in the industry. Huh.
In 1915, Broadway, the New York Philharmonics on Broadway, had to ask their female audience members to stop knitting
Stop
because
what?
they were making too much noise.
Stop what?
Knitting.
Knitting.
Making hats,
Knitting.
yeah.
Well, yeah.
Sweaters.
I hate when that. You go to a wrestling event, people knitting and all that stuff. That's just
It
crazy.
distracts from the event.
That's right. Jeez. Who would have thought? That's funny.
Victorian England had special teacups for men with mustaches. They had they formed a mustache barrier on top of the teacup, so the mustache wouldn't get wet.
Well, the people that used that were not people that were minors. So, they weren't allowed to have them.
And we'll do this last one. I'll have more next week, but we'll do this last one.
Okay.
Do you know who invented cotton candy? What profession was the man in that invented cotton candy? What one do you think would be the last one to do it? Because it's so bad for your teeth?
Yeah. Oh, a dentist?
A dentist.
Really?
The guy that invented cotton candy was a dentist.
Well, remember they used to give lollipops out too.
Yes.
I mean, when I went to the dentist, they didn't give out that stuff. But I didn't go to the dentist till I was much older than I should have been. So yeah, I missed those years. Cotton candy that's crazy. Well, I mean, cotton candy isn't expensive to make, so I would imagine that would be one reason. But that's weird.
Well, it's air and sugar. That's
Yeah,
all it is.
yeah.
Air and sugar.
That's crazy. That's good though. Oh man, that's good stuff.
We have Def Leppard to talk
Yes.
about now.
Are we gonna do that first, or you want to do Chosen first?
No, let's just follow our format.
All right,
Def
follow.
Leppard versus
All right. All right. Let me get my. Oh wait, I do have two other things, quick things that I do want to talk about.
Okay.
The one is, did you read about the Warren Commission lying about the JFK assassination?
No, I did not.
Okay, so it took 50 years, but the truth is finally out. The Warren Commission lied. The government covered it up. JFK assassination was not the act of a lone gunman. It was a full-blown military intelligence coup. It says that basically, it says declassified documents released January 30th, 2025 exposed what many of us have suspected. JFK was murdered by the very system he tried to dismantle. He challenged the Federal Reserve, the CIA, the shadow elite. He signed Executive Order 11110 to return sound money. Within months, he was dead, and what was followed was decades of lies, cover-ups, and silencing the truth. I don't know if you heard any of this or not. So the files reveal.
No, this is brand new to me.
The files reveal a CIA death squad, Operation Execute, a JFK hit memo from the Federal Reserve, names like Howard Hunt, David Atlee Phillips, and even George H.W. Bush linked to that dark day in Dallas. Even more chilling, JFK knew they were coming for him. A newly surfaced audio tape confirms it. They'll come for me soon, but if I fall, let history know I tried to warn them. Does that remind you of anyone? The parallels to Donald J. Trump are right in front of us. Two men, decades apart, both targeted for deep state machine. Both tried to return power to the people. Both exposed the lies of industrial and financial slavery system, and both paid or are paying the price for defying the system. JFK's death was the day America lost its innocence, but January 30th, 2025 was the day the veil was finally lifted. History isn't repeating itself, it's screaming at us. The question is, are we listening now? That's an article that was posted. I found it actually. Now I don't know how much this guy is. This is a guy called his name is Gary Anderson that wrote this. So if you believe that, then that's something you can look at. He's basically very pro-Trump. So could be leaning a bit, but if this is true, if what he's saying is true, that meant the government actually killed our own president, and that meant that that one guy was framed on the whole thing. So I don't know. I don't know if I believe it. I don't know. I mean, I believe part of it, but I didn't believe there was one gunman for that, and nobody believed that. I don't think. But that's one thing that I found, and I found it kind of interesting. And if there really is true that CIA death squads Operation Execute, there should be that should be really, that shouldn't be covered up. That should be something we all know, especially since it's been declassified. So
Trump is uncovering.
Well, that was supposedly
a lot of stuff in the FBI.
Yeah, and that
the Russian hoax.
That truly is eye-opening. That and that's scary when you think about it. That they went to that extent to shut him up, and then of course the fact that Trump reinstated the return of the mile run, the fitness test, returning to schools after a 12-year hiatus. Donald Trump signed an executive order to have it restored and revamp the program. Actually, Triple H was there, and he was part of the picture anyway. But the test has its roots in the 1950s when the so-called father of sports medicine, Dr. Hans Kraus, co-authored a study finding American kids were 49.2% weaker than European counterparts on a series of physical fitness tests. For decades, public school students were regularly tested on drills like timed mile run, push-ups, pull-ups, and all that stuff. President Barack Obama phased out the system in 2012-2013 academic year, replacing it with less competitive opt-in system. So that was interesting too. And lastly, and most importantly, and it's disturbing, there was in 2019 there was a Tesla crash. A guy was using what was considered autopilot at that point. There's a $243 million in damages found against the people, this guy that was driving this Tesla, and part of it is going to be making Tesla pay. Now here's the situation. The question was, who's responsible for this? Now, in 2019, there isn't full self-driving yet, and they wrote this article like there was not full self-driving. It was assisted driving, and it was really only a kind of like a kind of advanced keeping you in your lane. Like you could drive and you can it'll pass people, but only when it's supposed to, and it'll keep its distance of another car. this guy was using this, and he dropped something on the floor, and he reached down to get it. He wasn't looking at the outside, and when he came up, the car slammed into somebody. It says here, in the accident in question, a Model S struck and killed a 22-year-old and injured her boyfriend after running a stop sign in Key Largo, Florida at night. The driver said that Tesla's autopilot, it's a slimmed down version of self-driving, very slimmed down, by the way. And even the full self-driving in the beginning, I would never trust it without watching. But back then, you had to have your hands on the steering wheel. You couldn't not. You had to, because there had to be intervention. They were not at the point where you could let it go like it is now. Like today, I can let my car drive me from here to, like, I went out to New Jersey the past couple of weeks. It just drove the car for me. But then I would not. I had my car back in 2019. I would not have trusted it to do that. And but this guy, the driver said he had the Tesla's autopilot and typically used on highway engaged when he dropped his cell phone. The plaintiff said Tesla claims about the feature capabilities encouraged the plaintiff says that it encouraged capable. Let me read it exactly the way it says. The plaintiffs argued Tesla's claims about the feature's capabilities encouraged inattentive driving, and the company allows it to be used in the areas the system is not designed for, such as rural routes. In 2019, they would not have necessarily said that go ahead and use it. And I've used it in 2019. I would not have trusted it in 2019, because even coming off the highway, if you were going 65 and you used it to come off the highway, you would be going off the highway at 65. You would run off the highway and you would run into the field. I can tell you that from just the way it is. But this guy said he dropped his cell phone and he reached down to get it. He was definitely not paying attention. And in his testimony, he even mentioned a couple times that it was his fault. He took responsibility for this, but they're still making Tesla at fault. So,
deep pockets. They're going after deep.
Yeah, and it's a shame because that kind of gives Tesla a black eye. And if you use the Tesla software today, it's not at all like that. But it did. It was, you had to watch the road while it was doing all this. And if you're not watching the road, you're at fault, because you have to watch the road. Even now, you're supposed to watch the road. And if you don't watch the road, there's cameras on you that says, watch the road. And it beeps and makes noise and says, you were supposed to be watching the road. If you're not watching the road, you're the issue, not Tesla. And Tesla's going to pay, I think it turned out to be $150 million towards this. And they shouldn't have to pay for anything for this, because the guy truly said, it's my fault. I wasn't paying attention. So I just think that it's unfair that they're forcing Tesla to pay anything. But, just a little thing that I felt that was really a wrong.
Well, what they
decision.
did was they got everybody. They sued everybody that
Yep.
possibly could be involved.
Yep.
And the jury found that Tesla. They wanted to give this large verdict, and the guy couldn't pay it, so they went after Tesla to pay it.
Right, and it's a shame because Tesla was not at fault here, and if they were at fault, I would say they were at fault and they should pay, but I don't feel that that's the case at all. So
That doesn't matter when the jury gets after you.
yes, Anyway, that's kind of what I wanted to say. And let me make sure there's nothing else. I believe there's nothing really big other than that. All right, I guess we're ready for Def Leppard. All right. Bring up.
I had no idea that a man could play the drums with 2 feet, 1 arm.
And as well as he does, you would
Yes.
never know it if you didn't know that he lost his arm. But you know, it's funny when you think about. See, first off, I used to love. I still do. Def Leppard's one of my favorite bands, and it's one of my favorite bands for several reasons. First off, they came out when I was. I'm about their age, so I loved the music coming out, and I didn't realize. I thought they were older than that. I thought they started earlier than that. Although it says formed in 1977. So that would have been right because I remember hearing the song "Wasted" and thinking, man, that's a great song. And Rock Brigade, they were both off that first album. Those were awesome songs, and I was like, wow, that's really good stuff. It's really rocking and really pushing the envelope a little bit. Then they came out with that next the Pyromania album. And I thought that's an awesome album. It just kept getting better. But I didn't realize the stuff that was
that the one with 7 singles that hit the
yes, that was a great album, and that's I still to this day think that Pyromania was by far their best album. That's but on through the night, a lot of people never heard that album because it came out really early in their career. I only like 2 songs on that album, but it was good. Oh, maybe it was High and Dry. I thought it was On Through the Night. It might have been. I have to look to see what was on there. But I loved the Rock Brigade and the Wasted and all that. Even though it wasn't into being wasted, I loved the song. I thought the time. Well, you know why it was so good is Mutt Lange was the producer, and he was the guy that did AC/DC. You remember we talked about him last couple weeks, I think. He did AC/DC. He did a couple bands that we talked about. He's a great producer. He's from Australia, I think. And I'm 2 steps away from him, by the way. I know somebody that knows him. So, but he's a great producer. He put out a lot of good songs. But the Photograph, the Rock of Ages, Bringing on the Heartache, they're awesome songs, and they created a new genre of music with that because they started putting some rap stuff into it, and just they were awesome people. They started with the lineup was originally Savage, Elliott, Allen, and Steve Clark and Pete Willis. I never heard of Pete Willis, but apparently Willis had demons too. They talked about him on that special about how he was really heavily into drinking. Him and Steve Clark, I think it was.
Was it Phil Collins?
Oh yeah, Phil Collins was.
Phil Collins.
Him and Phil Collins were drinking heavily.
But he sobered up.
Yes.
That threw what's his name through a loop because he didn't have his drinking buddy anymore.
Right. Yeah. And it eventually ended up.
He drank himself to death.
Yeah. It's horrible when you think about it. A guy gave up everything. I mean, when Phil Collins stopped drinking, that was, he didn't want to live like that anymore. And it's a shame that he didn't see that too, because that band I love that band, but I like what they did with the new guys too. I didn't realize that was the case. I knew that the one guy died, and I knew that Rick Savage had the issues with the arm. Could you imagine getting up and actually, he felt that they felt that maybe he was dreaming that, or that had died and came back when he realized he lost his arm. Um, the whole idea of that is just scary to me, that you could lose your arm that easily. Well, not that, I mean, he lost his arm in the car. I guess his arm was still in the car when it was all said and done. But
Yeah, the nurse went back and pulled it out of the front seat,
yeah,
or the front by the window,
that's crazy.
by the windshield.
Yeah. And it's funny. I remember when that happened too. I was thinking, oh man, I like a band. And look what happens to them. You know, it's like whenever I like a band, like I like Led Zeppelin. What happened? They break up. I like, Deep Purple. What happened? My favorite singer left. And it's all these people that, I started liking Black Sabbath. Ozzy left. Well, got fired. And all these times I'd start to like somebody, something would go wrong with the band. But as we learned, once again, it's the excesses did a lot of damage to this band, and I'm surprised that they made it through, especially after losing your drummer. And could you imagine like sitting there thinking, after the accident, thinking, man, how am I'm not gonna be able to drum. I'm not gonna be able to drum anymore. And that's your first thought. I mean, my first thought is, where's my arm? But his first thought is, wow, how am I going to play drums? They
tried to attach it, but
yeah,
they got infected. And
yeah,
they had to amputate it again.
Man, I would hate it. That's like
But he learned to drum with his feet.
Yeah, and that's the thing. I mean, I don't know anybody else that could do what he does with what he's, he wanted to drum so bad. And things you do when you feel you're up against the wall, he came up with a way to do it. And they said, let us know if you get this together. And playing that Led Zeppelin song, Breaking the Levee, that's not an easy song. So for him to actually play that song with one arm, that's crazy. But it's cool. I couldn't believe he actually did. And the songs they did since then, man, that's innovative. And I give him big kudos, because most band, and you know what? That's the other thing. That band stuck together for the most part, regardless. Other than a few people that didn't work out, they stuck together, and they fought for each other. That's cool, because they could have easily
they stuck together with Pete Willis, because they would go to parties with him. They would go to family events with him where there was alcohol.
Yep.
They would visit him in treatment centers and do hard reality truth with him.
Right.
And that really, some bands aren't a family, but this band seemed to be family.
This band, and by the way, Sheffield, another industrial town.
Yes.
I found that.
And England.
Yes, yep. I found that interesting too. That again, we talk about bands out of England, and they all seem to be from those areas where they had to fight to live, or you had to go to your 9-to-5 job and you work all week and come home and with barely enough money to feed your family. And this band decided they didn't want to be like that either. I think what was it, 30 million was the first album that they sold, or whatever, or not 30.
Yeah, something like that.
It was.
Yeah, I don't remember exactly, but something like that.
It was crazy. And
they had almost instant success.
Yes, they actually came up pretty quick.
They paid for their own daddy. One of the daddies paid for their first EP.
Yes, and it was only 5,000 or something like that, or some cheap, whatever it was real cheap.
Yeah, and they had enough money to buy fish and chips on the way home from recording it.
Yeah, that's kind of funny when you think about that. They didn't spend a lot of money on that album, and the first album was noticeably different in production. Um,
Because
but
it was self-produced, or they had a cheap guy do it.
right, and so that was kind of cool. It says here, oh, here it is. The band had by then there. It said here that touring. Okay, yeah, they got the tour with Pat Travers, AC/DC, and Ted Nugent. That's crazy to get early in their career. That's between 80 and 81. So you figure the band started in 77 before they were Def Leppard. That's pretty quick to roll up on. I mean, that's like what we heard about Judas Priest, where when they finally got it together, they took off from a tour with somebody big, and but that was my idea of what heavy metal was all about. This is my band around my era, and so I kind of I think I drew liking them because they were around my age group, and I saw them do this, and I thought if they can do this, I can do this. Well, maybe not, but they did it better than I did.
What did you think of Joe Elliott as the frontman, lead vocals?
Originally, I mean, I know more now than I did back then. But back then, I thought, well, that's going to be a tough vocal to sing for me, because I mean, my vocals could. The way he sings, he destroys his vocals. I mean, he doesn't. He pushes. He's had problems in the past couple of years where he can't sing because he sings wrong. He's not singing the way you're supposed to sing. And I wasn't singing the way I was supposed to be singing either till the couple of years. Now I can sing better than I could ever sing. And I think that the biggest problem they have with the band right now is the vocals, because he can't sing. They had to cancel engagements because of his vocals going out. And because of the type of stuff he's singing, if you sing it wrong for any period of time, you're gonna lose your voice, and that's what he's been running into in the past couple tours. They couldn't finish the tour because or you'd have to spread the dates out enough to make it do that. The stuff he sings is hard to sing, the way he sings it.
Well, what did you think of him as a frontman?
I think that he came a long way. In the beginning, he wasn't. I don't think he was. I mean,
he was just a pretty boy.
Yeah, as they all were. They were all like good-looking kids, and I think he grew into the voice and the face of the band. And I don't think he's got an ego or anything. I think that they all came from modest upbringing. So I don't think any of them came in it with an ego like some of the guys do. And so I think that for the most part, he grew into that role of the face. Like the bands I'm in, I'm usually I end up being the face because the other guys, they just want to play. They don't want to talk. It's like when I joined the one band, the first thing they asked me before I joined, they said, so do you want to be in the band, or do you want to have a band backing you up? Because everybody thinks of that as the vocalist wants to take over the band, wants to be the band, and wants the band, like they like when they hear Mike Trash and the Barking Rats, they think it was all about the ego. No, it wasn't really about the ego. It was about using that band name because it was a cool name. It wasn't supposed to be about the ego. It turned out that was the thing that I killed the band with because of my ego, but it wasn't meant to be that. And the same with this band. This band was meant to be a band of brothers that were out there playing, and nobody really wanted to be the face of the band. Joe got it as being the singer. He got that job, and I think he does okay with it. He doesn't sound arrogant. He sounds good. He sounds like he's not trying to make it his band, but their band. That's the thing I found was that this is a band that doesn't. We didn't have problems with egos in this band for the most part. You know, they worked together, and that part was kind of cool because you didn't hear what was it? What was last week?
Iron Maiden.
Where it was one guy that wrote all the songs, one guy that controlled all the songs. You know, it wasn't.
It was his way or the highway.
Right, and we're not seeing that in this band. We're seeing this band. They came from rough upbringings, and they just wanted something other than working in a factory. They would have been happy if they just made enough money to live on. But fortunately, they didn't have to worry about that because they did a lot better than that. That's kind of cool. That's cool that you didn't have that desire. I mean, everybody wants to be famous, but not everybody is going to be famous. And they had realized that, I think, and they just wanted to do better than their, like, most of us want to do better than our parents. That's what it comes down to. You're brought up, you think about, okay, this is what my dad did, this is how much money my dad made. You think, if I make what he made, or I make a little better than he made, I'm happy with that, right? Because, you know, he provided. Well, they did that. They did a little better than their parents. They traveled all over the world.
Yeah, they made a lot of money.
Yeah, their parents only did 10 million albums, so for them to do 30 million.
Yeah, right.
But, you know, I think that's the thing that I find it was probably one of the best things was that they weren't trying to be, they didn't have egos that they were fighting with. They had demons they were fighting with, but they didn't have the egos that we saw in a lot of the other bands. The band got a chance to open for Ozzy Osbourne and Blackfoot. Man, that would be awesome to be able to play with them. But a lot of those bands back then probably weren't making the kind of money. When you're opening for somebody, you generally, actually, they had a problem where they opened for, who was it they opened for? Where they were booed off stage, and people were throwing things at them. I'm trying to see who that was, but they had opened for one of the, I think it was the first thing. Here it is, a performance of the Reading Festival in August. This was August of 80 or 81. It was marred when audience members expressed their displeasure by pelting the band with beer cans and bottles filled with urine. The incident was partially blamed on a cover story in Sounds music newspaper by journalist Jeff Barton that entitled "Has the Leopard Changed Their Spots?" Accusing the band of selling out to the American market. In a documentary on the band recorded for BBC Two, Barton recalls feelings of guilt over the story and having a stand-up row with the band's manager, Mensch, backstage at the show. In documentary series Metal Evolution, Joe Elliott says that the media had exaggerated the event. All bands on that day had experienced abuse from the crowd. But they, that guy said that he feels that he was the reason that they went rogue on this, on the band. So, 1982, Phil Collen was replacing Pete Willis. By the way, it's Phil Collen, not Collins. Collins is the one that was with Genesis. But like I said, the band had by then caught the attention of the AC/DC producer Mutt Lange and agreed to work on their second album, High and Dry, released in 1981. So Mutt Lange is a genius
He
when it
comes
comes.
up quite frequently in
Yes,
this series.
He's the one everybody wants to have produce their albums because every time he produces an album, it makes money. and takes that band to the next level. And this is no exception to that. So,
Was he the producer that made them do like was this the same one where they made them do like one note at a time?
yes, that was interesting too, because that would be difficult to produce an album like that, because you got to line them all up. And back then we didn't have digital recorders. You're talking about everything was done analog. So this is tape. We're talking about tape. So it's not recorded onto a machine where you can digitally move things around, which was a lot easier now, but it would still be hard to do that. This is a situation where this band had to physically go in there and they had to, you actually end up cutting tape and putting it in place. That was really difficult. I can't imagine what they did to do that.
That sound engineer had a job ahead of him.
Without a doubt. And Mutt Lange was the guy that probably could do it, the only guy I could think of that would do it. But for him to do that, it tells you a couple things. First off, the band wasn't as good at playing as he wanted them to be, and they ended up layering that sound so that it covered up for their newness in it. Said that Phil and Steve were best friends and got into all kinds of things. 6 million in the U.S. is what they sold the first album. Let's see here. So when so Rick Allen says intro to the Led Zeppelin version of When the Levee Breaks. I said When the Levee Falls, but I was wrong. That's a good song, by the way, to show the progress he made in the band. And that was a very emotional moment for them. During this period, Mutt Lange returned as producer, and they brought in Jeff Rich in 1986 to play alongside Allen. So we had two drummers in the beginning to make sure that everything was going.
Well, they did that to make sure that what's his name was playing.
Yes, right.
Rick Allen.
Yeah, so that's to me, the fact that they let him in the band with one arm and kept. I love that. I love the fact that they supported him and was able to wait for him. So, that's to me, that's friendship. That's what's missing in a lot of the entertainment industry, is that people get stuck with wanting that fame and fortune, and they will get you in a heartbeat. So, how many times?
Well, who was it they put out of the band?
Well, they put
which one did they put out?
They did eventually kick out
Willis.
Yeah.
Yeah, but they struggled with him for a long time before they did that.
Yeah, and they tried not to. And the other one was when that guy, the one member died. Hold on here.
Was that Steve Clark?
Yeah, I think that's the one. To me, that was a sad thing. Oh, here it is. Following Hysteria, the band quickly set out to work on their fifth album, hoping to avoid another lengthy gap. Steve Clark's alcoholism worsened to the point that he was constantly in and out of rehab. Recording sessions suffered from the distraction, and in the mid-1990, Clark was granted a 6-month leave of absence from the band. Clark died from a mix of prescription drugs and alcohol in 1991 in his London home. The remaining band members decided to carry on and recorded the album as a 4-piece, with Colin mimicking Clark's style on his intended guitar parts. So again, that they didn't just replace him; they just played his parts the way he would have played them, and continued on until they found someone else. Then they had Vivian Campbell. First off, how many guys are named Vivian?
Really.
And I thought that would be really cool to name your kid Vivian. But, hey, that happens. It's like
That
a boy
must
named,
have been they wanted a girl and they liked the name, and so they just stuck them with the name.
yeah. But that's not the first time in music that we've seen that. It was a couple of weeks ago we had another guy that was named the girl's name, and I can't remember who it was. But, yeah. And he's a good guitarist, too. So, I love the fact that they had the good guitar. I love the guitar stuff that they've done in their band throughout the years. They've always had good stuff. And then it said something about it. Def Leppard appeared at the Freddie Mercury tribute concert at Wembley in London. They did a 3-song set of Animal, Let's Get Rock, and Queen's Now I'm Here with guitarist Brian May. And then Joe Elliott later performed Tie Your Mother Down with the remaining members of Queen and Guns N' Roses with Slash. That would be fun to watch because, Slash, Slash. He's a good guitarist, and definitely Brian May is one of the best guitarists out there. So the band definitely is one of my top favorite bands of all time, and I'd like to do some of their stuff. I said to the guitarist that we should be doing that, and he actually isn't opposed to that. So we may end up doing some of their stuff. What else? What else do you remember?
That's about it. I do know that I know Bringing on the Heartbreak, and I like that song.
That's a great song.
It is.
My favorite song of theirs is off Pyromania. Besides the two that I mentioned, I like, besides Wasted and besides, Rock Brigade. I like a lot of stuff off that one album. The Pyromania album was great. So that's my favorite album of all. And I like Animals too. Animals was a good song. But that album overall sucked. It had a couple good songs in it, but overall it sucked. But I don't really like a lot of their new stuff. Newer stuff. It's funny because they said, 7 years till the band breaks up. The band never broke up. The band just
never. Yeah, I kept waiting for the breakup, and they never broke.
Yeah,
it was the car accident and the alcohol death.
Yeah.
That killed it, but it didn't kill it because they trudging on to this day.
Yeah, but they were doomed. They had a lot of issues. They had things that plagued them guys left and right, and I just love that they continued. And even now they're working on their 13th, I think, album right now. So I'm curious to see what comes out. So they may hit us up with some more good stuff. But like I said, Joe Elliott's got issues with his vocals, so he's really screwed up his own voice over the past couple of years. So it'll be interesting to see what their new sound sounds like, if there is a new sound. Could be just, even if they just rehash some of their old stuff. They did a cover tune album too. They did what was stuff on there? They did other people's stuff on that. There was a Bowie song on there. There was a bunch of guys on there. I liked their cover tune album, so that was cool. But I don't know if he's got that. Like I said, he's had problems touring because of his voice. I'd like to see him go out and do one more tour. Hopefully with Classy Mike Trash playing. Come pick up my band and let me play. So I don't know. I love the band. That was one of my favorite ones. It says here, when did they get? They got inducted in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame.
Yeah, that's right. They did.
2018. Yeah, that's when it was. Trying to remember when it was. Brian May inducted them, and they actually have the guys in the band right now. They haven't had any changes since, oh geez, probably 30 years. They've had the
That's
same
amazing.
people.
That's amazing right there.
Yeah.
Because some of the other bands we've looked at, you don't even recognize the band anymore.
Right. Well, look at Kiss. I don't think we did one for Kiss, but you only have 2 members of the band that are original, and they've changed drummers and they've changed bass players and all that stuff over the years, and and even guitarists and stuff. There aren't that many bands that hold on to people. ZZ Top up until the death. There aren't too many people that do that. And, it's funny to watch the band's evolution. But they managed to stick with those people for quite a while. And it's interesting to watch. It says here, Phil Collen played guitar uncredited on Sam Kinison's Wild Thing in 1988. The video featured members of bands such as Poison, Bon Jovi, Motley Crue, Guns N' Roses, Rat, and Aerosmith. Collen also produced and played on the 1991 album On the Edge by Australian band 88 Steel, looks like. Joe Elliott sang vocals on 2 tracks of the Rolling Stones guitarist Ronnie Wood in '92. He had a solo album, Slide on This. And it says here, Def Leppard have also played tribute records for AC/DC, Jeff Beck, and Alice Cooper. Oh yeah, they did Under My Wheels by Alice Cooper on that tribute album that I told you about. A fan of the local football club Sheffield United FC, Elliott performed on 2 tracks of the soundtrack of the 1996 Sheffield set motion picture When Saturday Comes. Elliott sang and co-wrote the opening track Don't Look Down on Mick Ronson's farewell album Heaven and Hell. So they've all played on various things on the side too. That's cool too. So, but like I said, I admire the fact that they stuck together and that they didn't just go out there and replace people, and they gave them chances to fix their issues before they ended up replacing somebody. So, it says here, following the death of Ronnie James Dio, Vivian Campbell reunited with the rest of the original Dio lineup with vocalist Andrew Freeman to form Last in Line. So they've all actually had side projects and did okay with them and still remain members of this band. So that's kind of neat. So
they were a quality band.
Yes. And they did it just by friendship and doing things the way they felt it should be done. I love and admire the fact that they stuck together. That was to me a big thing. So, all right.
The Chosen.
Yeah, we're let's see here. Let me get my Chosen notes. All right. Episode 3.
It was a different episode.
Yes, it is.
Jesus only had a cameo appearance.
Yes, and it's actually, the episode is called Matthew 4:24. Titled after the verse, Matthew 4:24, the episode offers a rare glimpse into what life was like for the disciples when Jesus spent a long day healing the multitudes. He moves away from singular miracle-centric plot and instead focuses on the disciples' interpersonal dynamics, struggles, and growth. Notably, much of Jesus' healing ministry unfolds off screen. See, that's the thing I found was interesting. The whole episode, everybody's complaining about everything, and I'm thinking, man, you guys, I mean, I couldn't deal with what they were dealing with, but they just were complaining left and right. I'm thinking, man, that's a bit of, a bit disturbing.
That's Jesus puts up with us because we complain a lot too.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. And I found it interesting that they did that, and then when Jesus comes back, Jesus is barely walking. I mean, he's like totally drained, and everyone shut up then. No one had anything to say about how bad they had it.
They just stared.
Yeah. And you got to think that at that point, that they may have had regrets for all the complaints that they were doing about this.
I think that's what he was trying to show with the looks on their faces.
Yes. Yeah.
How about Matthew got the worst of it though?
What do you mean?
Matthew, because he was a traitor.
Oh yeah, yeah.
To the Jewish people, he got the worst of it. He got the anger. He got the vitriol. He got the pent up emotions because he was rich and successful because he was a traitor to the Jewish people.
Yes.
And why did Jesus ever choose him?
Yes. And in fact, he had that question for pretty much most of the time that he's been on in this.
So far, he wonders why he's chosen too.
Yeah. Yeah. And at this point, I'm not really sure. Well, I mean, I guess now I understand, but I mean, if I were in that situation, I would be confused about that too. So it says highlights and interpersonal moments. The disciples at camp while Jesus is away, the followers carry on mundane tasks, distributing food, managing crowds, and talking by the fireside. Conversations reveal their backgrounds, hopes, and doubts. Conversation.
You could tell that not every disciple understood what was really going on.
I'm sure that even we're talking about even the beginning disciples that were with Jesus the longest didn't seem to understand because they were complaining too. A lot of it's like everyone in that camp was just unhappy and just thinking it shouldn't be this way. It shouldn't be. Why is Jesus not here? Like he must have it made because he got to go out there and do what he does. Maybe it was jealousy. Maybe it was, I don't know what it is, but everyone had something to say about it, and they kind of got a kick in the teeth when he came back because they realized,
But doesn't that seem to be like us?
Yes.
We complain about everything bad that happens to us, and there's always somebody that has it worse.
Yep. I found that interesting. One of the things that conversation between Philip and Matthew as they watch the crowds. Philip encourages Matthew with Psalm 139:8, teaching God that God is present everywhere, even in hidden places. He reassures Matthew that spiritual closeness to God isn't earned through scholarship alone. They were talking about, let's see here, Matthew 4:23-25 describes how Jesus traveled through Galilee, healing every disease, leading to widespread fame and large crowds, mirrored in how the disciples received people at camp. Psalm 139:8 is cited by Philip to reassure Matthew of God's omnipresence. If I ascend to heaven, You were there, encouraging him that God is near, even when we perceive distance. Um,
God is always there, Mike.
right,
It's just that we don't think He is, but
right,
He is always there.
yeah,
We feel distant from Him. We ignore Him. We can't find Him. We don't sense Him, but He's always there.
yeah.
He doesn't turn His back to us. That's the
Um,
point of that. The other point was Philip. He came from John the Baptist. He seems to get it. Philip seems to get it more than everybody else.
okay.
And the other part is that the people were rallying to Jesus because of what He did for them.
Okay,
My experiences with, especially with alcoholics and drug addicts, they come to Jesus in our facilities, because they're expecting Jesus to do something for them, like bring their family back, or
right,
take the cravings away, or get them a job again, or have them have money again. And when it doesn't happen the way they want it to happen, then they reject Jesus.
okay,
So a lot of that crowd was loving Jesus because He healed them.
right. Oh, yeah, yeah, that makes sense. Um, so,
Not because of who Jesus was and what He came for. They loved Him because He healed them.
it says, while Matthew 4:24 specifically is the episode's namesake, the extended context in Matthew 4:23 to 25 provides a fuller backdrop of Jesus' healing ministry, curated by the episode. Um, this episode breaks from typical storytelling by showing the quieter relational side of following Jesus, while nourishment, conflict, doubt, and longing coexistence. It beautifully illustrates the presence of Jesus can quietly shift the atmosphere in a community. Jesus doesn't offer grand solutions here. He simply appears, and his mere presence brings healing. Uh, and yeah, that's kind of what the whole thing was talking about. So that's what I have in
And
my notes.
Dallas, the writer, the director, executive producer, he kind of has Mary Magdalene closer to understanding what's going on, even though she's a woman who never studied the Torah
Okay.
and rejected her Jewishness for most of her life. She
Okay.
seems to get Jesus more than anybody else.
Yeah. Yeah. The actual ending of the show wrapped it up nicely. Uh, Jesus is out in the wilderness healing all day. We see the disciples doing the mundane, often complaining, and then bam, in walks the exhausted, sweating, breathless Messiah. All the bickering, and He changes us. It just like all the bickering stopped when they all looked and saw, here He is. I guess He wasn't having such a good time after all. Just
What am I complaining about? Look at Him.
right. That's the thing I took away from it. To up till that point, I was thinking, what's the point of this? What are we doing here? What are you trying to tell me here? And then that wrapped it up in a really nice bow and pretty much told us everything I needed to know.
Well, and the other thing I'd like to just bring out is that shows you how far the disciples have yet to come.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah.
They have a lot of growth
Now,
to do.
okay, from the beginning to this episode, how much time are we talking?
Probably 6 months to 8 months, maybe.
Okay.
At max.
Okay.
Maybe even 3 months.
All right. Okay, so they would have still time to. I mean, they still are learning at this point. I was just wondering if it was years or if it was.
No, we're talking weeks, months,
Okay.
because the whole crew hasn't been assembled yet. We have more people to come
Okay.
into MiG-12.
Oh, how many people we got now?
We've got, I think, 7,
Okay.
if I count them correctly. I could be wrong.
Oh. Okay. Hmm.
It's James and John. It's Simon and Andrew. It's Nathaniel. It's 6. It's
Matthew.
5.
Matthew.
There's Matthew is 6, and Philip is 7. I think it's 7
Okay.
disciples.
I would have thought.
Oh, Bartholomew, there's 8.
Okay.
8
Yeah.
disciples.
Okay. And there's total of 12.
And there's a total of 12.
Okay.
So we got 4 more to come, I think. Yes. And then we have it. But they don't see, Mike. They don't really get it until after Jesus dies and ascends into heaven.
Okay.
They don't, and the Holy Spirit comes. They don't get it until then. Jesus is fighting this battle the whole 3 years he's with them.
Hmm.
Their childishness, their immaturity, their bickering, their unforgiveness, unacceptance of Matthew. It's a constant theme because we are idiots.
Yes.
We are selfish and we're immature. And, there's a God that's willing to love you unconditionally, and we just gripe, moan, and complain.
But you got to consider that this is you're telling me this is, what'd you say, 3 months, whatever it is?
Yeah.
So you got to
3 months at the most, yeah.
But think about this. This is a group of people that most didn't know each other before this, and they spent
Four knew each other. Everybody else is extra.
And during this time, they're used to living a life of repression. They're used to people not really. It's like a lot of negativity, a lot of things that they're used to being hating certain people and doing things like that. You can't overnight just, okay, I'm going to do it this way.
That's the point. People don't change
Right.
overnight. And Jesus said in a couple episodes back, I think maybe the last one back, is that John asked him why he doesn't correct people when they're wrong. And he said, I can't do that. I can't correct everybody all at once. It's a process.
Okay.
And becoming a Christian and growing up in the Lord is a process. I've been in process for 36 years. I'm still not there.
Right. Yeah. Well, I found it very interesting the way they wrote it and the way that it all worked. And yeah, it was. I liked the episode. I wasn't liking it till the end when I was like, what's the point of this? Why are we, and I try to be a positive person, so I have issues with people always complaining about everything, and like I'm thinking, shut up. They that. So I love
Well, you can see what God puts up with us. We sometimes, Patty and I, wonder why God puts up with us. Why? Because we're ungrateful. We're complaining. We're asking for things instead of thanking Him for things.
Yeah.
It's and then we sit back and we go, why did we do that? Why did we say that? We have this great God who loves us, and we're sitting here griping, moaning, and complaining that our house doesn't meet our needs anymore.
The only time
it's a roof over our heads.
The only time I think I've
it's a nice place. It's actually a nice place. My wife makes this place very nice, and people in the area know our house because of the gardening she does.
Oh.
they know where we live. They drive by and they see it. We tell them. They go, "Is that the house with all the flowers?" Yeah, yeah, we're the house with all the flowers. So, but we gripe, moan, and complain, and
Yeah.
and makes no sense. We're just like the disciples,
Yeah.
no different.
Well, I can tell you that up until, well, when I straightened a lot of my life out, it was around 1990. Um, that's where I made big gains in things, and I mean, I certainly had a lot. I still have a lot to do, but up till then, I finally got a grasp on things, and when I finally got divorced and started to straighten things out that in that way, I was pretty good with the way things were and the way things, I didn't usually ask for anything. Um, the big blow was when Pam died. That that messed me up, and as it should. And
As it would do with anyone.
and that was when I was at my biggest, um, misunderstanding of the system, of 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 my relationship with God. I mean, I couldn't, I still to this day can't understand it, but I accepted it. And I never really asked for anything except there was a part where I said, if you can't fix her, take her home. And when she died, it really hurt me. That was, I mean, I know that was the right solution, but I didn't want to give her up. And um, I think that's the most distant I've ever been from my faith. Um, because I just couldn't understand it. I couldn't get it. And the more I tried to understand it, the harder, it just was to go. So it took me a while to heal from all that, and you know, um, and I always look back and say I could have done better. I could have done this. I could have done that. I could have whatever I could have done. I regret that time of my life for so much because I was not doing the right things, and I realized that, and um, all I can do is try to be better. I can be the better person than I was then, and that's where I am today. I'm trying to be better, and so I try not to ask for anything. I just try to live my day, and whatever happens is you know is what happens. I just try not to hurt anyone. I try to be a good person. I try to help others and do all the things that I can do. So that's all any of us can do. So not try to. There's a lot of people out there that don't have what I have, and I'm thankful for all that I have. Uh, and when I think about having to leave my job, I thought that was the worst thing that ever happened to me. But it turned out to be the best thing that ever happened to me because I could pursue what I want to pursue now, and I don't have to be working for the man, and I can actually be a better person and do better things. And so it all happened for a reason. I don't know what that reason is, but it happened.
Well, sometimes he doesn't tell us what the reason is.
Well, I stopped asking.
He just asks us to go for the ride.
Yeah.
And don't complain about it. Just go for the ride.
Yeah. Well, I think that the worst thing that ever happened to me is that period of time. And I try to, like I said, I try to do what I can to make sure that I try not to hurt some people, and I try to do what I can to help people. So right now there's a friend of mine who lost his job and he's working now for Dollar General or something like that, and his girlfriend's having problems too. They can't make ends meet, and rather than just give them money, I decided I did give them some money just to do that, to try to help them. But I decided I was going to let them do stuff for me that, like, clean my house. It'll help me and it'll help them. So I could do it.
Well, that's a hand up, not a handout.
Right.
So that's the proper way to go.
Yeah, I don't want to be, I don't want to feel like, I don't want them to feel bad about
Taking your money.
Right.
Yeah.
But if I let them work on it, and I tell them, I say, how much value it today? I give them what they want, as long as they're reasonable, and it's working out. So I haven't had a chance to work with them since the scammer screwed me over, but I think we're gonna have them in here next week. So I just want to help them. They're good people.
Yeah. It's a good thing, Mike.
Yeah.
I wish a lot of Christians I know would do that instead of griping, moaning, and complaining all the time.
I try to keep that to a minimum. I try to just be thankful for what I got, and I am very thankful for everything I've got. I've been through some crazy stuff, but I'm still alive. I'm still alive and kicking, and I guess I still have more to do. So just keep going. So,
Amen.
yeah.
Well, it's 10:07, Mike. Got anything else?
Well, I got tons of stuff, but it can all wait. The stuff I have is, I'm trying to find articles that aren't time sensitive. That way, when I don't remember, or when I don't get to it, let me just look at there may have been one other thing I want to talk about. Let me just double check it. I can hold that. Okay, we did the Kennedy. I wanted to do that Kennedy coin. I wanted to make sure that was done. Yeah, that's all I got. That's good. I mean, I got a lot of other stuff, but that's all I got that's time sensitive. So, all right. Well, I guess we gotta let it go then. And it's funny because we didn't have any issues with the second half of the show.
Yeah.
The first half of the show, I had issues. I'm hoping that was the router thing, but I don't really know. I want to try. I may look into getting another router just to see if I can get the speed up to what it should be, because I'm supposed to be doing 1.5 gig a second or something like that, or a minute, or whatever it is. But I should not be capping out for playing one video, or we were capping out at the beginning of the show a lot. I don't know why it didn't do it towards the end. And I'll bet you for the end, when we play this video to end it, it won't be an issue. So, all right, well,
take care, everybody.
Yeah, we're gonna let it go, and I'll see you next week.
See you next week, Mike.
Yeah, it was a good show.
Good show.
I'm live. Did it again.